In this video, I'm going to watch Rangers and Celtic play on the same day, but there's a catch. For every goal that is scored in today's video, I'm going to be donating £5 to charity. And I think there's going to be a lot of goals today. If you think there is big differences in the men's game between Celtic and Rangers and the rest of the teams, then just look at the disparity between Celtic, Rangers, and to be honest, Glasgow City as well, and the rest of the women's teams. I will show you last season's league table. Just have a look at the goal difference from Rangers, Celtic and Glasgow City. Look how many goals they scored. I think if my memory serves me correctly, Rangers only conceded 9 goals last season, the entire league campaign. They still didn't go on to win the league. And obviously look at all of the goals that each one of those 3 teams has scored. Look at their positive goal difference as well. Those 3 teams finished on such high goal difference that almost the entire rest of the league finished on negative goal difference. I think it was only Hibs, again if my memory serves me correctly now when I remember my research, that actually finished with a positive goal difference. The women's game in Scotland has seen vast improvements over the last couple of years, with lots of investment going into the 2 old firm sides to compete with Glasgow City, who actually were the huge runaway champions almost every year for the past 15-16 years, I think. But it's now really competitive with the top 3. But it should be a really interesting game. Rangers are playing Hibs, who actually had a good season last season, and Celtic are playing Partick Thistle, who again, I don't think they finished that far down. So will there be goals today? Probably yes. How many? We shall see.
They were definitely opening.
Let's have a look.
I don't know if you'll be able to, you might get a paper ticket.
Oh, here we go, the door opens. Right, wish me luck. Got one. Paper ticket, mate, I know.
Oh, that's really good.
I've not had a paper ticket
I was going to say
at Ibrox, I think, ever.
I know. Well,
£7.
Oh, that's alright.
Bargain. It's interesting that they're playing the game here behind me today, because usually the women play at Broadwood Stadium. We've seen a few women's games at Broadwood Stadium before on this channel, but yeah, usually they play their home games there, but because it's the international break, they're playing here behind me today at Ibrox. It should be a good occasion. Ticket just bought, as you'd have seen, £7. Is it going to be a bargain? Will we get about £1 per goal? Possibly, I hope so. I hope we see a good amount of goals and raise obviously some money for charity as well. So how's the season going for the ladies so far?
It's going really well.
Happy with everything,
We've not lost any, we're just drawn against Glasgow City, which is good.
And they're obviously a good side as well. So you're unbeaten. Do you think you'll go on and win the Scottish Women's Premier League this season?
You've got a good chance.
It's been a good start from Rangers so far, only a couple of minutes in. Oh, look at them feet, go on. Oh, we almost had our first fiver for charity there, but look, here is the league table so far this season. I showed you last season's one, but look who is currently top. Still some good goal difference there, but it seems a lot more even this season. Hamilton and Montrose down the bottom, Glasgow City there in 3rd with Rangers and Celtic, with some other teams, look, even Spartans. Their men's team are in League 2, but their women are in the Premier Division. I've not missed any goals, it's still 0-0, but look, macaroni pie. Surely this time, surely. Oh. I was starting to get a little bit worried then that we'd come, and like one of the main premises of this video is goals and money and for charity obviously, but yep, 32 minutes in and Rangers are ahead. They've had so many chances. Hibs have defended well. As Rangers go forward again, let's keep this rolling. What can they do? Back heel comes to nothing. out to Rangers. I think that's her second of the game, Kirsty Howard. And I didn't quite catch the goal. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch it back. But the cross went in. It looked like it was going straight to the keeper, and she was just going to catch it. And so I thought, I'll just stop recording. As soon as I pressed the stop record button, she dropped it, and it fell to Kirsty Howard, and she tapped it in. So yeah, 3-0 now, 15 quid. I feel like it could have been more for Rangers. They've missed a lot of chances as well. Oof. This could be an expensive day for me if this carries on. What have you thought of the game so far? It's half-time, it's 3-0.
Yeah, it's been a really good game.
Yeah, Rangers have dominated, haven't they?
Yeah, they've pressed really high and that's paid off.
They have. Hibs are giving it away a lot around their own box. And what do you, who's your favourite player?
Brogan Hay.
Brogan Hay, she's had a good game out on the wing, I think, over on the other side. And
Yeah.
what's the score going to be today?
Well, my score prediction before the game was 2-1. But
What's 2-1? Yeah, that can't happen anymore.
I think maybe we could go on to score 4 or 5.
I think probably like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people might be here today. Good turnout for the ladies' game, and really cool to see them playing it here at Ibrox while the men's are obviously on their international break. But yeah, we've changed ends in the second half up here because I think there'll probably be more action for the Rangers attackers in the second half. 67th minute in this one. We're going to have a bit of a race on our hands today because kickoff is at 4:10. It's currently 2:30, so let's say we got another at least 25 minutes here and getting out. Let's call it 30 minutes so we're actually out of the vicinity of Ibrox. That's going to be 3 o'clock. Then we need to actually get to Peters Hill Park, which is the other side of Glasgow, for a 4:10 kickoff. We should get there all right, but yeah, hopefully there's not a big stoppage and a load of extra time. But yeah, 5-0 currently, so £25 for charity. I wonder what we'll end up on at the end of this video. Absolutely dominant performance from Rangers there, and as you can see, even though they're playing one of the better teams in the league, still a big gulf between them and sort of everybody else. I feel like that top 3, like I showed you, Glasgow, City, Celtic and Rangers, they really are dominant in the women's Prem up here. But yeah, usually I'm doing my outro at this point after a game, but we've got another one to get to. We've still got to see Celtic play against Partick Thistle. It's a Glasgow derby, of course. It's not going to be played at Parkhead, it's not going to be played at Partick Thistle, but it is going to be played elsewhere in Glasgow, so I'll see you there shortly. A lot of teams use this stadium, Peters Hill. I think they're in the West of Scotland League Division 2 or 3, I'm not sure. We've got Partick Thistle and Glasgow City. It's not the Partick Thistle men who play here, they play obviously at Fir Hill. But yeah, Glasgow City ladies, I've actually seen a game here before. Glasgow City v Celtic. That was last season now, but yeah, my second time here at Peters Hill Stadium, and that is the view. Joe and so father-son, here to watch Celtic women today. What brings you along to the game?
Quite going to support women's football in Scotland, you know, just the profile of it, to get involved with it towards the end of last season, it was great, so hopefully get more of the same.
Look at some of the scores today. 7 goals in the game that we've been at already, the 7-0 Rangers. 7 goals in Spartans v Hearts and Edinburgh Derby. 5 goals in Aberdeen v Glasgow City. Hamilton Montrose has literally just kicked off at 4 o'clock, I think. Then we've got Motherwell still to play, then about to kick off as well. And Thistle Celtic, which is where we are now. So goals galore today. And after the result earlier, Rangers have gone top. Look at their goal difference. But yeah, Celtic are now second, but they've won all their games, but they're still in second. I bet that hasn't happened often in many leagues around the world. Win all your games but still be second. But yeah, they've got a win today against Thistle, who are there to go back to the top. What's the score going to be today?
3-0.
3-0. Right, boys, you're all Thistle fans.
Yeah.
All Thistle fans, but you support the men's team and the women's team. Why do you come to see the women play as well as the men then?
It's because we want to support Thistle women.
Just Thistle through and through, aren't you? Thistle fans. And how have they been getting on this season?
They've been well.
Doing all right?
Won against Thames last week.
Good, yeah.
2-0. And that was a tough match.
Oh! And it's Celtic who have gone ahead. It's similar to the game earlier. I feel like we're about half an hour in. A little bit like the Rangers game, where not a huge amount happened, but they were getting a few chances, missed a few chances, but then finally they've taken them. Or taken one of them. Celtic have 1-0. Will the floodgates open like they did earlier? Let's see. Why do you come to support the women as well as obviously, I take it you go to the men's games as well?
Just to support, you know. Just to support the teams.
Yeah.
You've got to give your support to both.
You got to give your support to your local club. Are you local to Firhill then, or to Peters?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, cool. And how do you think the men are getting on this season?
Alright.
They're doing alright?
Could be doing a wee bit better.
Should be doing, it's good, could have won some games.
Yep.
A couple of games they'd missed, but...
And what do you think about, because you obviously watch a lot of women's football as well, what do you think about not just Thistle, the team, but also the league in general, the Premier League?
It's got to get a lot more money put into it. It's just not enough put into it.
Okay, especially the lower down
building.
teams?
Aye, lower down teams it's building, but there's no...
There's a lot of space between Celtic, Rangers, Glasgow City and the rest, isn't there? Like last season the goal difference was mad. But you think more people should come watch women's football?
They should be given bigger stadiums, because you see the support coming. This is the biggest support.
Yeah,
all
look at that,
season.
there's a lot of people here. Shout out to the Partick Thistle guys. They noticed me coming in and they said, do you want a bit of hospitality at half time? I said, yes, of course, get me a coffee. And they did. Look at them, absolute legends. A recognisable face, you've been on a few times before, right?
Absolutely, big fan.
Darvel and...
Hopefully I'm not following you about.
I don't know mate, it's looking a bit sus. But no, you've been at another women's game as well, similar to me today.
Yeah.
You were at Kilmarnock v St Johnstone, I was at Rangers v Hibs. So we go in now.
Oh, good save.
Yeah, you've taken in 2 games today. It's obviously the international break in the men's football.
Yeah.
Why did you come along to 2 women's games this weekend then?
I mean, to be honest, it was mainly to tick off grounds. So obviously I was up at the St Johnstone Kelly game was at Jeanfield at Riverside, and then I managed to dart along in the car and then get to Peters Hill for this. But it's just like kind of what we've been saying off camera, it's just nice to see how the women's game's kind of taking a charge forward.
Yeah.
I think it's great that the clubs have given it back into the women's teams.
Ball boy. Look at those skills, sign him up.
Touch.
But no,
didn't get that guy.
Imagine, but do you remember last season with the title running, when one of 3 teams could have won it going into the last couple of weeks, and the last day of the season, obviously, a bit of a helicopter Sunday. Where they had the trophy going around, obviously, but I feel like stories like that have really propelled the women's game here, and they now play the internationals at Hampden, all of them and stuff. And you were telling me about the England game that's coming up.
Yeah, so the Scotland-England game in December, I just thought I'm going to get myself a ticket. I quite fancy going along, and I couldn't believe it. Like there was literally only a handful of tickets left. So I mean, we're heading for a record sort of sellout at Hampden for Scotland-England women. And I mean, it's like I said, it's been really exciting in the women's game the last couple of years. I think ever since the lockdown and stuff, where you're seeing
been a lot of investment from Celtic and Rangers, hasn't there?
The attendances at Parkhead, you've got like 30,000 at Celtic and 20-odd thousand at Rangers, but then before that you were lucky if you were getting
the cup final at Hampden. I think they got a lot there for that as well.
I think that was quite close to sell out and stuff. But it's not just, what's good about it is it's not just, okay, Celtic, Rangers, Glasgow City are sort of your dominating teams, but you're still seeing a lot of improvements at Hearts, Hibs. I think the women's leagues, much like the men's leagues, probably need a bit of a shift up. So I think there's only 8 women men's teams, I think, in one league. If my memory
So they
serves
play
me
each
right.
other quite often.
So yeah, I mean, I've taken in quite a lot of like lower league games as well in the
Yep.
SWPL, and I've seen the sort of development there. But it's just, listen, it's going to take a while, but it's going to get there, and it's just great to see women's football's getting massive improvements, and of course England as well, closer to home. winning the
Absolutely,
Euros.
yeah.
So women's teams being more successful than men.
Good little atmosphere as well when they score. Good roar when it went in.
Again, we were just saying that as well. It's good to see that just your usual regulars that usually go to all the men games that are actually here as well.
So that's 2-0 now.
Cracking news. Probably Celtic deserve it, but
Yep.
I feel bad for Partick's keeper.
She's had a great game. She's made so many good saves, yeah. Oh, no, foul.
Yeah, that's right. Good defender. Goal.
It's now a few days later since I actually filmed this video. It was actually a really crazy day for me work-wise. It was the same day, obviously I was filming this video, rushing between Glasgow to watch Celtic and Rangers play on the same day. I also did a video about the new Rangers manager. It was the day that Philippe Clement got announced as Rangers manager, which actually was a good thing. I was going to Ibrox anyway to film the ladies game because I could just talk to fans when I was there about Philippe Clement. And then it was also in the evening, Scotland qualified for the Euros. So I actually ended up filming 3 videos that day. 2 are already up, and then now I'm editing this one a day or 2 later. So yeah, really, really good to showcase the women's game. It's a really good growing product here in Scotland. So if you're ever looking for a game to go to, particularly on a Sunday, they play a lot of their games, then make sure you get along to either Peters Hill to see Glasgow City or Partick Thistle. You go to Broadwood to see Rangers usually, or Airdrie's Excelsior Stadium to see Celtic. And sometimes when it's like the international break or it gets towards the end of the season when there's big games coming up, they'll often play games at Parkhead or at Ibrox, or obviously the cup finals at Hampden Park. I went to a League Cup final last season at Tynecastle between Hibs and Rangers as well. So yeah, really good to see some really good football and donate to charity as well. I've donated £50 to Back Onside, the mental health charity. I know they've got a lot of good guys based up here in Scotland. So yeah, they do a lot of work with like Scottish football clubs as well. So Back Onside mental health charity, £50 has come your way. A huge thank you for watching. I really, really do appreciate all the support on the videos. Do let me know if you've ever been to a women's game before, and do check out the Back Onside charity as well. If you want to donate, then go through their website and you can do that too. Did you enjoy this video? I enjoyed going to watch Celtic and Rangers. It's not often that you get a chance to see them both play in different games. I guess maybe you could more often with the women than the men. Maybe I'll have to do a version with the men's eventually, but again, it doesn't really happen that often that they play different games in like close vicinity to each other. I have seen them play against each other, obviously, many times, whether that be the B teams, the women's team, or the men's teams. I've seen Old Firm derbies in all different age groups and different genders as well. So, yeah, I have seen them play on the same day, just not separate games. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave a video right here. It's what YouTube thinks you're most likely to click on. Does it look good to you? Do you want to click on it? If so, please do. It really, really does help me. Thank you so much, and goodbye.